In this next lesson on thirds, I'm going to show you how to play what we call inversions so that you can go beyond just playing those thirds. And I'll show you what that looks like. But before we do, there's a couple things I have to show you that you'll have to memorize. So the first thing is remember there are two types of thirds. There's a major third. Let me get this pen. Okay, so there's a major third. And there's a minor third. Minor third. Now, one of the things that you need to memorize is the distance between a major third and a minor third from the root note. So let me show you this on the fretboard here. Let's say here, we'll just pick this G. Okay, so to go up a major third from any note on the guitar, you're going to need to either go up 2 full steps. Full step is 2 frets. Or you're going to need to go up, you can go up what's called 4 half steps. Either way, it doesn't matter which way you want to label it, but a major third from the root is, I'm just going to go by half steps because it's just, it's easier to count by one. It's 4 half steps higher. Okay? So that's a major third from the root to the major third. Now, a minor third, let's say we pick the same G as the root. A minor third is not 4 half steps, but 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3. So this distance away is a minor third. It is 3 half steps higher. Now this is true anywhere on the guitar. So you can pick any string, any fret. Let's just pick this here. If this were the root, a major third would be 4 steps higher. So you would just go 1, 2, 3, 4 steps. That's a major third away. And let's say down here I'm going to pick, I'll pick this open string, open E. A minor third would be 3 steps higher. So from here you would count 1, 2, 3. And that is a minor third away. Okay, so you have to memorize that before we go to the next step here. All right, now we're going to go back to thirds as we talked in the last lesson. So there's a very interesting relationship between major third patterns and minor third patterns. I'm going to show you that right now. So let's go to this G. And let's say that's a G major. So this is the pattern of a major third chord. Okay. So what you do is, since this is a major, you're going to go up a major third from the root on the same string. So from here you would go up 4 half steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. You're going to play that note, and the pattern that you play up there is opposite of the pattern you play down here. Meaning if you played a major down here, you're going to play a minor here. So sure enough, a minor pattern is this. Okay? So this is the major pattern, this is the minor pattern. Now both of these patterns, 2-note patterns, are part of the G major chord, except this one here we call first inversion. Now inversions are chords, they're the same chord, but they're just voiced differently. So if this is a G major, this also is a G major, but it's in the first inversion form. Now let me show you what it would look like down here. Let's say we had a G minor. G minor third. So here's the minor third pattern, G minor. Now you would do this same thing. From here, since it's a minor third, you would go up a minor third, which is 1, 2, only 3 half steps. And then you would play the opposite of this, which would be a major third pattern. See how that's the minor third pattern, this is the major third? Now once again, this here would still be a G minor, but it would be first inversion. Okay, now let's apply this to the whole number system. So let me go and write down, we're going to be in the key of G, for example. So I'm going to write down the numbers for the roots: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1. Now watch how this works. Number 1, let me remind you again. Chords 1, 4, and 5 are major. Chords 2, 3, 6 are minor. And chord 7 is diminished. So this is how it would work. The one chord, which is a major, looks like this. It's a third, major third, but you can also play a one chord in its first inversion, which would look like this. So this is a major, go up 4 half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you play the opposite of the major, which is the minor. So you can play these two or this two for the one chord. Now that gives you 2 different voicings. That gives you 2 different locations where you can play the one chord. Okay, let's continue on. The 2 chord is a minor chord. So the minor pattern, it looks like that for thirds. Well, remember now, if to get the first inversion, since this is a minor, you would go up 3 half steps. 1, 2, 3. And instead of playing the minor pattern here, you'd play the major pattern. So then now you got a 2 minor, but this is also a 2 minor in its first inversion. Okay? Hopefully you're starting to pick up on this, but I want to go through each and every one of these. 3. This is the 3 chord. Minor, but you would go up to its first inversion, which is, this is a minor, 2, 3. And then you would play the major third pattern. So that would be the 3 chord. 4 chord would be here. 4 is a major, so you go up 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you play the minor pattern instead of the major. 5 is a major. Go up 4. You play the opposite, which is the minor. Like that. 6 is a minor by default. And you would go up 3 steps, play the major pattern to get the first inversion. Now here's the wild card in the whole thing. Here's a 7 chord. And we talked about the 7 chord in its diminished form. You would play the third that belongs. It's actually a minor third. So you play the minor third here. Now, You're not going to run into too many diminished chords in modern music, but this is just in case if you ever need to or you do run into it. The rule is you would still go up 3 half steps because that fits this. 1, 2, 3. But instead of playing the opposite of the minor pattern, which would be the major pattern, for diminished chords, you play another minor pattern. So 2 minor patterns back to back. So 1, 2, 3, and keep it the minor pattern. That is the first inversion of a diminished chord. Okay? First inversion. Now, this works with not only the chords that are in the number system, but if you did get like a flat 5 major, play flat 5 right there, right? Because it's 1 lower than 5. And a major pattern would be like that. If you came up, happen to see a flat 5 major chord, you would play that. But you can also play the inversion of that by applying this principle. Go up 4 steps, half steps, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you would play the opposite of a major, which would be that.